It's Wednesday, October 8th. This is kind of a morning SPY update today. This is the daily chart. I saw a comment on one of my videos. Is there a SPY update today? I'm not really trading the SPY today, but I certainly will provide an update as to what's unfolding. So bottom line is yesterday I described how I bought some puts here early in the session after a potential two-up failure at exhaustion risk. And you can see here yesterday opening price action, the first two bars kind of paused, and then we started breaking down on bar 3 and 4. So bought some puts here. Unfortunately, it moved a lot lower to some targets. Once it hit the midpoint of the prior day, it got to the low of that day, then it went to the next target, and we ultimately formed a 3-bar on the daily time frame, broadening out, higher highs and lower lows. The question there was, is that going to then, kind of strengthen into broadening action on a higher time frame? And that means that on the weekly chart here, we made higher highs. We were heading down below the open of the week, and can we get through the midpoint of that prior week and then maybe even continue lower all week long? You don't know for sure. The uptrend certainly strong, so you're kind of just anticipating that stuff, some kind of red bar forming. Until we really get a red bar and then a 2 down, there's no real downward price action. You're just kind of anticipating that. And I just thought after 4 days really heading up with red bars that it might set the stage for the beginning of that. But anyway, the bottom line is we had the higher highs, the lower lows. That's just broadening action. That means you can come right back up on the short time frame. And as it turns out, the market wanted a gap up today to the midpoint of that bar. And then the first 2 bars kind of that was a moment of truth. What was going to happen? It paused, and then we break out on bar 3. So the bias is to the upside this morning inside of yesterday's price action. So you're not necessarily, there's no actionable signal here to the up or down. You're just kind of stuck in a range at the moment. We're getting one push up here. Maybe this is the second push up, and that's all you're going to get. And we're going to see tomorrow, I guess, and for the rest of the week, what if we stay inside, let's say, that could be an actionable signal back, a 2 up to take out the highs, or a 2 down to get back to the low side. So in strat terms, when you have a 3-bar, then it sets up kind of a 3, maybe a 2 down, 2 up buy, or a 3, 1, and then a buy, type of thing. So today it's more just inside price action, but after the broadening action, we didn't really get the follow through on the higher time frames. It was just a short-term thing, and obviously opening price action led you to the buy side this morning if you wanted to play that with enough volatility to have a nice morning move, and knowing that you may or may not break through the high of the previous day. Seeing this upward price action unfolding, I decided to buy certain stocks. I bought here Amazon to the upside, that's doing well, and I bought Meta to the upside, doing well, and then the other stock I happened to trade was CoreWeave. I tried to buy that to the upside and had to take a small loss when it failed to break out and came back to the midpoint of bar 1. That's kind of my methodology. So a couple of good trades today, one small loss, but overall pretty good. And like I said, the SPY at the moment is certainly intraday, the structure is clear to the upside. So this was an opportunity to either aggressively, if you wanted to play the indexes, buy it or exit any long, short trades you might have had temporarily, because you really needed, this is going to be a hard trend to break to the downside. I think it's going to happen at some point, and you're kind of anticipating it. But until we really get some kind of 2 up, 2 down, red bar on the weekly chart, there's no reason to really be selling this market. But again, I thought it was a pretty good potential, start to a move down yesterday. But then as soon as you saw the gap up today, and not surprised to see it, I didn't know for sure how things were going to open today. And then opening price action starting up, the bias is back to the upside.